Good morning. Thank you, Jesus, for the day. It's a Wednesday. It's really hot and really humid here today, but let's get into the video. I got my energy drink. These are terrible for you. I try to drink coffee, but today is the day. Jacob's over there. Craig jigging all of our face frames. Doing well?
Doing well.
Why do you got the glove on?
Oh, it's annoying twisting this all day. They're sharp.
Huh.
Got something.
Got the box fan because it's literally 100 degrees in here.
It's horrible. And it's like 9 a.m.
Not even 9 a.m. It's like 8:30. Love that for us. How are the face frames coming along? The white oak face frames.
Going good.
After you spilled your Diet Mountain Dew everywhere and your Propel everywhere.
It's been a rough morning. It's a little toasty for my liking, but
You got a fan.
we're here. I need the fan.
Let's see how that guy works right there, the Milwaukee drill driver.
Wonderful.
On the 2.5s we don't do it, but normally we do a coarse thread 1.25 inch and then 1 inch fine thread on the outside so that end grain doesn't pop through. But the 2.5s are wide enough the Craigs don't get near the edges. Isn't that correct? A little glue squeeze out, perfect.
That's what we're looking for.
Putting together face frames, and Jacob decided to take a break and not Craig jig this piece. Oh, and you don't want to plug it in for me?
My fan's plugged in.
Prioritizes the fan. This is the only bit of electrical I don't really have run. So we plug it in. Oh, this is the only thing I don't have permanently plugged in. Have this Craig set up to 3/4. Try to get me lined up. Doesn't like going through this white oak, I'll tell you that. This bit is not that old. We might have to get a new one. A new bit. Just as I said that, the bit snapped.
Huh?
Yeah, the bit snapped. Oh, literally just as I said that, the bit snapped. And we have that. Great.
Is it in it?
No, it just snapped off. Well, I'm going to see if I can't use this. I think I'll be able to. I might just have to clamp it. So when the glue dries, we'll have one screw in it. Love that for us. Literally just as I was saying that too.
So you don't got another one of those?
Nope. I don't think so. Well, actually, yeah, we do. We actually do right here. Alright, we do. Let's take this collet off. This is in our handheld. That bit was not that old, but it's what happens sometimes. Let's get our little Allen key set. Take that collet off. Come down underneath here, and essentially I had to put this bit up into here. Just like that. Back in action. Alright, let's finish out this Craig now. Now we're not plugged in.
Yeah, it might be on there.
Not back in action.
We're getting there.
Getting there. I don't know what in the heck. That bit did not like going through that either. I don't know. It went through though. It's all good. Struggle bus. Alright. Put some glue on this guy right here. Kind of wipe it and dab it everywhere so we get full contact. Grab my clamp. Huh? Probably 36, I think, right? What number is it? 12? 39. But it's 35, so it's 30.5, so you're fine. Vertical belt sander can only do up to like 30, well it says 37, but really like 36.5. Yeah, I don't think it'll work. 36 is typically what I stop at. Okay, so that piece is in, secured. Now we need big boy. This is for a blind corner situation. That's why I'm gonna put this on. Since these are custom, I don't want to add fillers if possible. So instead of just making this 1.5 inches and then adding a filler, I just combined the filler into the face frame. Less seams, and I think easier install for us. Put a little 1.25 inches in there. I do like the drills better than the impacts, especially for square bits. Okay, yes, that's correct, just like that. Now we'll put our bottom piece on, and then we'll put our 2 middles in, and it'll essentially come out looking, these are our Lazy Susans, but it'll essentially come out looking like that guy right there, 3 drawer boxes. So I need to put in the rest of the pieces, putty, double check our measurements, and then keep going. Jacob's going crazy, he's getting a lot of them done, so I gotta go crazy and catch up to him and do my part. Right, Jakey?
I think so.
Getting another one done. Already have it glued up. Gonna line it up here. Attempt to. And the sawhorse in the way. Love that for us. There we go. Clamp it. Screw it in. Perfect. There we go. More glue. Kind of dabble that around. Put a decent amount of glue because the end grain's gonna soak it up. Isn't that right, Jakey?
That is right.
Isn't that correct?
You gotta get that.
It's one of the things I've been trying to correct. Instead of saying that's right, you would say that's correct.
That ain't right.
That's correct.
Too proper.
Now, I always notice that too when everyone says it. Yeah, that's right. Nah, brother, that's correct.
Odd.
You know? What I should start saying is every time someone's like, that's right, I'll be like, is that left?
No. You know exactly what they mean when they say that's right.
I know, but it just sounds like it's not correct. I think because saying right is way easier than saying correct.
Yeah.
Get some glue in there. We'll do it. Because you wouldn't say we'll do it rightly, you would say we'll do that correctly.
Well, yeah, just you're putting an E at the end.
L-E-E? Lee? One of my friend's last name is Lee. Sang Lee. Don't disrespect Sang, that boy's the GOAT. Shout out you, Sang, if you're watching. 17.5, 33.5. He's what?
What's he do again? Does he work at a gas station?
No, he works for Maverick now.
Yeah.
But he's at corporate.
Oh.
Big dog.
I thought he didn't like work in a gas station.
No, he used to run a store. Yeah, but he was so good, they said, you better get up to corporate, brother.
You're getting checked up.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him.
I think he kind of controls, like, the gas prices. Or he changes all the gas prices, make sure.
Put him down.
That's what I'm saying. It's a saying. Come on, brother. What are you doing?
So your buddy's going taxes.
I know. Doing us dirty.
He was down pretty decently yesterday.
Yeah, I think he put him down himself.
Good.
That'd be funny.
You live here?
Ankeny.
Yeah.
So we're located. Ankeny, Iowa. The birthplace of Craig. Actually not. Huxley, where I grew up, is actually the birthplace of Craig, I believe, but...
Craig.
Not, yeah, Craig Tool?
Oh, Craig Jig?
Craig Tool.
Look at that warp on that.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
So we can actually get the sandpaper in this groove now. So
That's good.
every toe.
Yeah.
So the final, there should take that sandpaper
And
put
go
it in
through there.
and then we don't get anything in.
Right. Testing out a new product. catalyzed. It's like what the actual factories use. It's like the most durable. It's a 2-part. Whole different primer. Whole different everything. A lot harder to use, but a way better product. I don't gotta worry about using it. That's Jakey's problem, right, Jakey?
I think you're gonna have to go back to spraying kitchens. Do advanced for me.
Oh, no, Jakey. You're the best at it now. Oh, you're the best. Customers love when you spray them. They say, send us that kid with the beanie from the videos.
Got no beanie.
Got no beanie, too hot, 100 degrees here.
I kept wearing it up there and I would take it off like the second I walked in. I was like, what's the point of bringing this thing?
Too hot.
I was hanging out in the van and then he came by and picked up the mower. He's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just watching paint dry.
Watching paint dry.
There's not much I can do.
And have no beanie.
I had to call it quits and just sit in the kitchen boys. Sitting in the bubble.
Yeah, for real.
I had all 4 fans in there.
We have that corn sweat. The real thing, because it is illegally humid. Illegally humid.
It can be 95 with no humidity.
It's literally 95 with like 80% humidity.
I can handle that. My buddy that lived down in Oklahoma, he said it's like 96 there all the time.
But no humidity.
Nothing like
None.
that. He came back and it's like 85 and he's just
I will say this though. When we went down to Alabama, like it's literally 95 with 80% humidity here. It's terrible. And down to Alabama though, oh my goodness. It was like 95 with the same humidity, but dude, it felt like, because you're closer to the sun, or you're closer to the equator. Closer to the sun, that's funny. Closer to the equator. Dude. I thought what we had was bad. No. To be fair though, they have the ocean. So like, that's my whole point. We have no ocean. We have nothing here.
got a couple lakes.
They have the ocean, so like they can deal with the heat, you know? They don't have snow. We have snow, we have humidity. We have terrible weather. Terrible weather. And we didn't do anything wrong. We just feed the world. 33, 30 and a half. No, it's the best state though. It's the best state. There's no slander. We don't slander this state. It's the best state.
I'll never leave this state, but boy, I hate the weather.
But this weather is cooked. You get like 2 weeks. Right before spring and right as fall starting. 2 weeks. Or right at when winter's ending and right when fall begins. There's like a week on each side and it's the best weather in the world.
Get all your activities out.
Alright, we're done. That one we have to sand first and then we'll put together. We're going to go through, double check all of these, double check all of my drawer box math. And then vertical belt sand from 13/16 thick to 3/4 of an inch thick between 80 and 150 grit sandpaper. Jacob and I now are going to start sanding our face frames down from 13/16 thick to 3/4 of an inch thick. We got our machine recalibrated, so it's sanding everything perfectly now. This takes a long time because you gotta make sure you go slow. And we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do like 10 passes. So it takes a good amount of time, but it makes life a lot easier. And then what we'll do, we did double check them all, so we'll go back over there once this is complete. And we will palm sand these down, clean up the insides. Even though we do send the insides through before we put everything together, just want to make sure everything's perfect before they get sent over there to get stained, front and back, insides, and clear coated front and back and insides. I've noticed that a lot of, I don't know if a lot, but quite a few new homes that I've seen, they don't clear coat, or they don't stain, or they don't even spray the back sides of the face frame. And you can see that. I don't know why they don't do that. So we do that here though. We're getting a new product because we want to become, most of the cabinet places that I see don't finish their products. They build them and they send them out. Someone else sprays or stains or clear coats. Well, we do it all here. We measure, we build, we install, we spray, we stain, we clear coat, everything. So a lot of you guys have been asking about, hey, do you want, or do you guys ship nationwide? Well, we're figuring that out, so that way we'll be able to. The way we can get you guys our nice custom cabinets. It's not gonna love that wide piece there, I'll tell you that much. I'm gonna have to send this one through this way because it's 39 inches wide, so let's see how much it hates it. It might hate it a lot. It hated it, but it was fine. We were under 35, so that's good. All right, well, we're gonna keep getting these guys sanded down, and we'll go palm sand. Jacob put together this last face frame right here. It was too wide to fit through the vertical belt sander, so we had to sand it in 4 separate parts, put it together. We double checked it measurement-wise, and now just palm sanding. Just lightly cleaning all of this up, make sure the stain takes it or the wood takes the stain consistently. We're using 150 grit sandpaper. We don't want to use 220 because it'll make the grains or the fibers of the wood too flat and it won't absorb as even. So we're just using 150 grit, going over it to make sure everything's nice and clean before we stain and we clear coat. All the face frames are now completed. They're ready for stain and they're ready for clear coat. Brandon's cutting out some doors for another project. Jacob and I are gonna look through my list right here and figure out exactly what we need to cut for the trim, the crown, the screen molding, the fillers, the shoe, the toe kick. My camera is in shambles there. We have to cut, we usually always custom make our trim, but we definitely have to this time because it's white oak and no one really stocks that around here. So cut this all out. Jacob's gonna start sanding it in the vertical belt sander. And then I'll keep cutting, I'll go help him do that. We'll palm sand it and hopefully get that completed today. All the trim pretty much cut except for the toe kick, and now we're sanding her down. How's that make you feel? Thumbs down. It's all good. It's coming out. This is a shoe molding, so I'll have to do a round over on it, but got to get it down the correct thickness first and foremost. We custom make pretty much all of our trim. When it's painted, it doesn't really matter unless our client wants us to custom make it for some reason. But when it's a stain job, we like to just make all the shoe, the crown, screen molding, fillers by ourselves. We like to make it because then we're able to use, I flipped it already, here. We're able to use the same material that we used to make the doors and the face frames and the side panels and everything. So that way we know that the material will take the stain or the clear coat the exact same way as it does for the doors, the face frames, the side panels, etc., etc. So it's definitely a pain in the butt to do it this way, but it comes out better in the finish, and we can control it, make sure everything looks correct. But it's definitely a pain in the butt. So we're gonna keep sanding this. We have the screen molding, the fillers. I never plan on using that stuff, but I'd rather have the screen molding and the fillers just in case. The last thing you want is when you get to the job site, you don't have something and you need something. Send that thing to the moon. Yeah, that's all right. We got that squared away. We're almost done with the shoe molding. The crown's already done. And then again, it's just screen molding and fillers. Jacob and I got all the trim cut out. vertical belt sanded, screen molding, shoe molding. We did a round over on it, 3/4 by 3/4, not 3/4 by half, so technically it's a quarter round, I suppose. It's a quarter of the way around. A circle, crown molding. What else? I think that's pretty much it. The fillers are over there, those are done. Now we're gonna palm sand this stuff up, make sure it's perfect. Sanding it the same way we sand the face frames and all the doors. And then that'll probably end the day sanding all this stuff. It's gonna take a minute, but that's okay. Get it all sanded out with 150 grit, so that way tomorrow, hopefully the CNC will be cutting out the cabinet shelves, and we can maybe even start building the actual shelving. All the face frames, again, are ready for stain and clear coat tomorrow, along with all the trim except for the finished toe kick. But once we get the paneling in, we'll cut that. That's super easy. It's what it looks like right now. The sirens are going off. We gotta get back inside. Oh, that was a terrible decision. Gotta try to lock this door now. But we're dealing with, we're on our kitchen, our white oak kitchen remodel. We're making drawer boxes today. Hopefully we can cut some skins today. Brandon's making some other doors. And what else we're doing? Making shelves, and the CNC's gonna start cutting. So we need to start doing that right now, and hopefully the storm doesn't get any worse. We have all of our sheets for our shelving that the CNC's gonna cut out, but I'm just going through and double checking to make sure that we have the exact quantity of shelves that we need per cabinet. So I'm gonna do that and then cut drawer boxes. Brandon and Jacob got all of my drawer boxes cut out, which is amazing. This is for that white oak kitchen remodel. Pins and tails are right here. Brandon got all the bottom panels cut out. Thank you so much. That makes life way easier. So now I'm going to dovetail out the pin right here, the tail right here. Get everything set up nice and flush. To adjust the camera a little bit here, make sure we're good. Make sure we get that nice and flush. It's not going to. I need to restart. There we go. Right there. Perfect. Turn that guy on. Just like that. That corner is done. Will look really good. On to the next corner here. Do the same thing. Make sure our lines are on the same side. Make sure we feel square. Flush it out. And there's the next piece right there. I just need to rinse and repeat that for those two sides there and all of these pieces. There are 3 more drawer boxes that we still have to cut out. One's a toe kick box. I want to put the cabinet together so that way I can get an actual perfect measurement on it. And then there's 2 super weird pull-out boxes that are going to span from the inside of one cabinet to the inside of another cabinet, the blind corner, so that way that space can be used up. So once those 2 cabinets are put together, I'll cut out the back and get my measurements for that. So I'm gonna get to dovetailing these. Brandon's gonna keep cutting shelving, and we're gonna keep building out this white oak kitchen remodel. Just like that, we have all of our pieces, pins and tails, fronts, back, sides. Everything's dovetailed, everything's organized, everything's set up for success here. So my next step is, these are all the back pieces. I'm going to notch out an 1.5 inch wide notch on each side here, starting at 5/8 of an inch away from the fence, because that's the thickness of our material. And this notch is simply here, so that way the slide is able to slide through the back of our drawer box and connect into the front with our clips. Get get it a little bit, and it might be too much right there. Make sure we're tight back there. We are. Just make sure we're nice and even. 5/8. 5/8. Okay, love that. Set up here at 90 degrees. Now all I'm gonna do is send her through. Need to raise the height up so that way I take out all of this material until I get here into this, well, I guess it's a dado, it's with the grain. Almost there. There we go. That's what we want it to look like right there. And then I'll do the other side. Boom. First pass of this board is completed. Do it over here. Love that. Make sure all three of these are lined up correctly, and that way when notching the bottom part of the board, not the top, because I've definitely made that mistake before. Those look good. Those look really good. These taller ones are quite a bit harder. So send that. There we go. Those look darn good. Now these are the hardest ones, these big tall boys. Perfect. Okay. So that's completed. Except now we need to add, so we started at 5/8. Our dado blade is a 1/2 inch. So we need to add a 1/2 inch from the fence. So we're gonna go 1 1/8. And then we'll send them all back through again. And then we'll add another 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch will give me an 1.5 inch wide slot. And then these will all be done. So I'm gonna send all these through, and then I need to router them. Once they're all routed, I'll start putting everything together with the bottom panels, all the sides, backs, fronts, everything glued, dovetailed, slightly putty, slightly sand, double check everything. If we have the orange clips, which I don't think we have enough, if they're down here, I don't think we have enough, but I'll put those in if we do, and then double check the measurements and get these ready for clear coat. Back notches are completely cut, 1.5 inch wide. Now I'm going to sort all of these, put them with their friends, I guess you could say. And then, once this is completed, everything needs routed. Both top parts, both bottom parts. And then we can finally start putting everything together. Jacob went to go put on existing doors. Brandon's got to go down there and drill handles. He's on his way back from putting on a side panel somewhere. So he'll probably start making some doors over there for another job that we're doing. Perfect. Okay. Everything looks great. Push this guy right here. There's our bottom panels. Again, there's the three boxes right there. I need to figure out the height for the toe kick and then the width and the height for those two pull-outs. It's gonna be odd. It's gonna be really nice once it's completed. I just have to get the cabinet shells put together from when the CNC cuts them, because I have to do some crazy cutting. I'm not really exactly sure. I know what I'm gonna do, but I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do. But it's all for this white oak kitchen remodel. I better start routering and putting these boxes together. Time to start routering. Just doing about a 1/16 little round over. The top profiles on these boards already come routed, just a slight little router. So we're gonna do the bottoms. I think no one would ever know if they were not, but I think it just makes a nice, clean look there. And it also helps make almost a bridge for the clear coat, or paint, but clear coat in this case, to have sort of a flat spot to lay, and just hold up better over time. Even though we send everything through the oven, everything gets cured out. I wanna make sure things are as durable as possible. So, I'm gonna get to routering and then start putting these all together. That's how that first piece kind of comes out. Trying to go nice and slow so I don't chip out any of this maple. I've noticed sometimes this maple likes to chip out a little bit if you're not being careful. I'm just trying to go slow and make sure we do the best job we can here. And now that whole drawer box is routed out and ready to be put together. I have pretty much every drawer box put together, double checked. Back holes are all drilled right here. That's for the slide as well. It clips in there so that way the box can't tip forward. So I have this last box to put forward, and I kind of did something not the greatest. I adjusted the dovetail machine because I thought our tenons here were not thick enough, but then I made them too thick. Whoa. So they're just a hair out, which I will sand and I will make perfect, but it's just going to take a lot more time to sand, which is fine. They'll still turn out perfect. They're super tight, which is definitely what I wanted. I thought before they were just a tad loose. I just went too far in the other direction. I did test a piece out. I thought it worked really well, but clearly it didn't. I should have made a whole spec box, because once you put the middle panel in, and there can be inconsistencies in the wood, and so I should have really made a whole box, but I didn't. So that's fine. They're going to be super strong, which at the end of the day is what we want, and I'll make sure they're perfect when I go to sand. It's just going to take way longer. That's okay. Brandon's over there dealing with the shelving. Okay, so here's this, and then this is left oven. Let's measure it up here. So 15 5/8, 4 inches tall, 21 inches long, 15 5/8, 4, 21. Perfect. Now I need to mark our little jig set up right here. Nice little jig, and then I will drill right in the corner until the tip of the bit right here disappears. That's how deep we go. Perfect. Now I'll just slightly putty these. Don't really need to do this, quite honestly, but it makes them look better. So we'll just shove that all on there. Let that dry up. Clean up my area here. And then spend forever on the sanding, which is amazing. Those shelves right there, 3/4 of an inch thick. Super thick, so that way they can't bow or warp. Brandon's over there cutting, sanding, making sure they're perfect. So those are done. Clean my mess up here. And then I'll start sanding. We have our custom stain right here. It's not custom, but it's weathered oak. And I put that into our exact color caulk by Sashco. We have the caulk Master 3000 right here. Automated. Shaking up the stain inside of the caulk tube right now. Got it on eco mode with the automatic on. I'm gonna let that shake for like 5 minutes. You only really have to shake for about 2 minutes, but I really want it shooken up well for the stain. And then what I'll do once that's done is I'll put this inside of it, the thickener or the hardener, and it'll basically turn it into a caulk. I'll let it shake up for 5-10 minutes and it'll be good to go. Let it sit for 2 hours, but it'll be good to go. I won't use it today, but I just want it ready to go. So drawer boxes are drying. I'm doing this while they're drying. Just want to make sure everything is super solid. And then I'll go sand. Just got all of our hinges, color match caulking, touch up, and all the slides pulled. And anything that I didn't have, we're making sure we're ordering. There's like a silverware pull out. There's some toe kick box slides. What else? Lazy Susan unit. A few other things. So getting that all ordered. Handles. So now I'm going to start sanding all of those door boxes because the putty's dry, the glue's dry. I'm going to start sanding everything, really. I'm using 150 grit sandpaper. That seems to work the best for us here. I'm just going to clean up the bottom of the door box. Make sure it's good to go. There we go. Typically, I don't really need to sand these that much, but since I didn't set that up the best, I was fiddling around with it, trying to make it better, and I think I ended up making it work. Structurally, it's a lot better because the tenons are a little thicker, but they're a little proud, so I need to get those sanded completely flush to make sure everything looks perfect. So it's going to be quite a bit of sanding, a lot more than normal, but that's okay. I'm going to make sure that everything looks perfect for our client. Again, structurally, it's a lot better than it was. It's just more work. So before I make any more boxes, I'm going to dial down the thickness just a hair, and then everything will be completely perfect. I like sanding these anyway because I like to almost burn that in so it doesn't just look fuzzy when you hit clear coat on it. A lot of people's door boxes, the end grain kind of looks fuzzy and I hate it. I want it flat. I call it burning it in. It's not burning anything, it's just getting all the fibers level. There we go. Pretty much perfect right there. Nice and smooth, nice and flat. Everything's uniform. It's gonna look really good, so I just need to do that to every side of every single drawer box, which is gonna take forever, but that's okay. And then these guys will be ready for clear coat. And then I think once that's completed, I'm gonna start, Brandon went to go help Jacob drill handles at a resurfacing job, which is existing doors, existing door fronts. We just tape everything, we prime, we spray, bring the existing doors back here with them all labeled so we know exactly where they go. Prime and spray them here, and then take those doors back. And then normally we don't drill new handles on existing, but today we are. So we're gonna do that, touch everything up, get everything perfect there, and then I don't know what time they'll get back. We'll see. They might go home or we'll figure out some other stuff to do. I have to finish the drawer boxes, and then I'll have 3 other drawer boxes which I figure out what I need for those. Toe kick box, 2 pull outs. But I need to put the cabinets together first. The CNC's over there cutting those cabinets. Then you finish the shelves, and then we need to do side panels. We also need to cut toe kick out once we get that material in. I finally got one of the drawer boxes sanded. Dovetails look super nice. Everything's perfect. It's really dusty because I just sanded it, but that's okay. Back holes are drilled, notches are done, everything's labeled. So this drawer box is technically ready for clear coat. Set it over here and move on to the remaining 8. 5 drawer boxes completed. 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. I'm almost done over there sanding down our drawer boxes that are dovetailed maple for this custom white oak kitchen remodel. Here how the face frames are looking. There's some more in the oven right over there. They're curing out for durability, but it's a stain with 3 coats of clear coat on top. It's gonna look super awesome. They're dusty right now because they just got sanded. Another coat of clear coat's going on them. Here's our custom trim that we made yesterday. Again, white oak, stained, clear coated. And our CNC is over there, cutting out all of our cabinet pieces. Carl's taking them off the CNC, labeling them, setting them aside so we can organize them later. CNC just got done cutting a lot of them. Now I need to go finish sanding out all of the drawer boxes. All the drawer boxes are now fully sanded, super dusty, they need blown off, but they're ready for 3 coats of clear coat. Now, I've already started, but I'm edge banding all of our tremendously thick shelves. Brandon got all the edge band on, so now I just need to come through and trim it, make sure it's labeled correctly, and then package it all up. I will be double checking the sizes once all of the cabinets are put together, but at least having this done ahead of time definitely helps. That way, once we go and put the face frames on, we're able to just double check that everything fits, everything's correct. You can wrap it all up and install it all. This one's giving me a little bit of a pain, but it's all good. There we go. Come back through on this side. Just don't want to pull the UV up, which does happen sometimes. It's the one downside of this material. If you're not careful, something bad will happen. Trim the sides there, make sure they're perfectly straight. And I'll just come through with this red sandpaper here and just get the edges rounded over a little bit because they're sharp. Come through like this. And that's really all there is to it. Tremendously thick shelves, so nothing bows or warps. These are for that white oak kitchen remodel that we're doing right now. They're all of our cabinet parts. They're all numbered. So we need to get them over there. We need to start organizing them all. And we have to start putting them all together for our white oak kitchen remodel. I have to go measure for a brand new kitchen, another remodel, brand new cabinets everywhere. And then Jacob and Brandon are going to be here. And they're going to be the ones putting together those cabinet shelves. So when I get back, hopefully we can put on these face frames that are sitting right here. They're all sitting right here, stained. Let's turn this oven on. Lights, camera, action. All right, let's see what we got to do here. It's not really too complicated. Let it load up a minute. Perfect. Perfect. That guy's good to go. So, yeah, that's kind of the game plan. I'd like to get the shells put together and the face frames on today. Not sure what else we'll get into. We might also cut the side panels, the skins, 1/4 inch white oak grain going vertical to match the doors. So that might be the other thing. But I'm going to get the shop set up and go measure while the boys are putting together those cabinet shelves. I just got back from measuring a pretty decent sized kitchen, which is amazing. It's gonna be all alabaster, made from beech material. It's gonna look really, really good. At first, I unloaded more white oak paneling out of the van, and then got that van put back. Over here is toe kick that Brandon cut out. They're gonna start clear coating all of this on this nice big homemade rack that we use to spray the drawer boxes now. It actually works. It looks terrible, and I get that, but it works really well. We had 2 kind of junky racks, cut the top off, and then screwed boards on. Again, it looks terrible, and I know that, but it works and functions amazing. That's all I need it for. So we spray all of our trim so it can lay flat in the spray booth, right to the oven. So drawer boxes for this white oak kitchen remodel are complete. They came out really nice looking. Love how those look. So those are done. And Brandon and Jacob also started putting on our white oak face frames for our white oak kitchen remodel. They got a bunch of cabinet shelves all put together, and a bunch of face frames onto all of the cabinets. So I really appreciate that. Here's more cabinet shelves, all labeled, measured. I'm gonna start dealing with these while Brandon's putting on doors. Just keep making headway. I was going to start putting on face frames onto our cabinet shelves here, but I think I want to get the lowers, or not the lowers, excuse me, the uppers for the most part done. So that means I'm going to put the bottom skins on, or side panels on, so it hides all of the Craig jigs. I want to get that done right now. And what I'm working on is the microwave cabinet, which I'm packing out to hold the weight, or help hold the weight of the microwave. And the comments hate that I do this for whatever reason. But I think it's necessary. Well, it may not be necessary, but I think it's a good thing to do. We build custom cabinets. I try to think of stuff like this. The weight of the microwave is being held by the cabinet. It's not being held by the bracket on the back. The bracket on the back, just hold, back it on the back, holy cow. Just allow, or doesn't allow the microwave to tip out. Where the weight of the microwave is actually being held up by the cabinet. So I want to make sure everything is super thick and super sturdy. There we go. There's a 3/4 inch piece. And then I'll put our 1/4 inch skin on that. I'll contact cement everything, making sure it fits. And I'll brad nail everything. Everything is glued like a sandwich and cannot come apart when we go to drill it to help install the microwave for the client. Typically we do that. I kind of hate doing that, really. I don't like touching people's appliances. But a lot of times we help them drill, because we have the hole saws, we have the correct drill bits. So a lot of times we do this for the client. They appreciate it, so we do it. I'm going to contact cement this. Because I don't want to just rely on brad nails, and I don't want to just rely on contact cement. I want it to all be sandwiched in. Got that right there. Get a nice good amount of contact cement. You don't want to go too heavy, but you don't want to go too light. Kind of a trick, really. I'm gonna let that set up. Go grab our 1/4 inch bottom skin material right here. That's our MDF. This is our 1/4 inch bottom, UV protected. This side is not UV'd, but the other side is. If I can get it out of our cart. Holy smokes, that was way too heavy. There we go. Hi ho, I ho. It's off to cut our bottom panels we go. Kind of the song I'm singing right now in my head. Oofta, there we go. That's the 1/4 inch bottom material that we use to cover all of our Craigs. Tape measure, I want to double check this before I just start cutting blindly. That would be dumb. 10.5, love that for us. Send this thing in. Hate when we use this table as a workstation, you know? And now I gotta come through and move stuff. But I get it. There we go. Okay. I will need that guy anyway, that brad nailer. Okay. 1, 2. Kangaroo. Make sure we're up against the fence. We are. I don't want a veritable rip. I'm going to increase it in width ever so slightly. Cut one more here. Okay, that's good now. Shut that off. And cut out our 28.5 inch piece right here. That all looks wonderful. Bingo. Okay, now that's almost dry, so that's perfect. Shove that in there like that. Love that for us. Make sure we're contacted everywhere. Okay. Fine and dandy. Now, we'll do the same thing here. I didn't test that this fit, so we're about to see. It's the same measurements as the other one, just slightly bigger. You can you can't bend this in, but you can kind of bend this in. It's only 1/4 inch. I knew the 3/4 was not going to have any tolerance because it's thick, boy. Get that on there. There we go. And I am going to brad nail it. I will have to putty the holes, but I wouldn't really have to putty the holes, but I'm going to brad nail it because I want everything again to be a sandwich. So that way when we go to drill it, it's all together. Look at that putty right there. I love that. A little color match putty for us, huh? Get my coffee. I'm zooming around this warehouse. Brandon's over there sanding some other doors. How does that feel? Not there yet. It's close. Darn close. Where'd my... Oh, that's not good. I had a board with all my measurements on it. You can't make this up. I have a really bad habit of setting something down to go do 8 million things like I'm always trying to do because there's 8 million things to do. And you can't find your board or you can't find anything that you need. Threw it away. I love that for us. Okay, so this one's done. We have a 40.5. This big boy. There's one. 40.5 by 10. The other 40.5 is a 22.5, so I don't need to worry about that right now. What's this gonna be? Alright, we can use it. Love that for us. And then once I cut this last, or this one, I'll go over there and I'll just double check that we got, or that we can put that on. Come on, stop blinking at me. So this is number 1. This one's number 3. Okay. See if this is cooked enough. Oh yeah. Perfect. Oh yeah, like a glove, dude. This is phenomenal. Right there. Love that. Perfectly flush. Love that for us so much. Love that. Okay. Now I'll brad nail that and then I'll continue putting on our bottom panels with just contact cement because we're not drilling through them or anything crazy like that. And then yeah, we'll go from there and we're going to double check all these measurements. I think we'll even make sure that the shelves fit, and then we'll set all the cabinets over there and we'll start working on the lowers. Jacob and I got all the bottom panels on. They're all super tight. We're double checking the cabinets. We found one shelf that was wrong, another shelf that was wrong. So I would double check everything because I don't know why they're wrong, but they're definitely wrong. Definitely incorrect. So hate to get to the job site and be like, oh, now we have an issue. If they're too big, you know, then you can just chop it down, but they were too small. By like an inch. And that is no good. I'm gonna get this one all edge banded up. And then when Jacob's done cutting that, we'll get that one all edge banded up. Not using the edge bander because hopefully it's just these two, and I'm not firing it up for these two. Trim off our sides here. Again, these are all for our white oak kitchen remodel. I mean, you can't make that up, can you? Whatever. We're gonna keep that board over there though, just in case there's more that are incorrect. I don't think in all of history that for 5 or 6 years that we've been making cabinets, we've ever cut shelves too small. And I'm not lying. They're always, if anything, like a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch too big, and we just trim them down when we're double checking. But for whatever reason, they're like, I don't know, 3/4 to an inch too small, which is no good. Won't work. Wish it would, but it won't. Gotta be careful, don't want to burn my hand. Yeah, that sucker should be good. Typically, I should be letting this sit for a minute so it doesn't gum up my blade, but I'm not. I'm going right through with the trim. Oh yeah, I love that for us. Yeah, you can tell it kind of gummed up the blade right there. But it's time for a new blade anyway, quite honestly, so not too worried about it. Okay, and then that side's coming apart a little bit, so I need to go back through and put a little bit more ironing on that thing. Then I'll sand it, clean it up, make it look perfect. You want to cut a piece of banding for it. Then I'll go test this out once I get it sanded. I'll label it, double check number 6 cabinet wise, and then I'll start wrapping all these, wrapping them up, you know what I mean? Hopefully it's just these two. We did know from the beginning that this one was incorrect. The other two were fine, but for this cabinet, but this third one was not. But I did not know that big boy was incorrect. It's kind of sad. But we can reuse it for another shelf because it's 22.5 deep. So we can cut it down for the 10.5s, or we could reuse it for another 22.5. It's a super wide cabinet, so typically it's for a fridge cabinet, and they're typically not, I think it's like 42 inches wide because there's some fillers and stuff going, or panels going around it, but typically fridge cabinets I make 37 wide. Leaves a little bit of room for the fridge to breathe and still makes it nice and tight. Looks good. Just the measurement I found that works for us. Not saying it'll work for you, but it works for us. A lot of the ones I see, like from the big box stores, are 36, and I just think it's too tight. So I go 37, let the fridge breathe. I'd leave it out. Well, I mean, I just leave it right there. It's halfway, it's easy to put back or it's easy to grab. In reality, we can use that 22.5 and then we don't even have to edge band. But you can edge band that sucker. Here, I can get out of your way. Trying to get this glue off here. I cut it down too quickly. There we go. Looks perfecto. Okay, back at it now. Let's label this guy number 6. That way when we get to the job site, we know where number 6 is. We're just able to let it eat. Oh, that's what we wanted right there. It's super dusty, but like a little bit of an 1/8 of an inch total. So a 1/16 on each side of movement. Super thick shelving. Love that for us and love that for our client. Got to zoom way over here. Grab our plastic wrap. Jacob and I were talking. It gets a little chaotic because there's so many moving parts here right now. Between the spring and the oven and the building and the the doors and the drawer boxes and the cabinets and the face frames and the trim and this and that and all the side panels, and it's just, there's a lot of moving parts. We do everything in-house, which is nice because you can control it, but also kind of sucks because you have to do it, you know? Okay, what am I looking for here? Hear that tapey? Love it, found it. Start clearing this out of here. This weekend I'm gonna be up here, and I was gone measuring, so I don't exactly know. I mean, I know, but I'm kind of a control freak, so I like to really know exactly where everything is. 42 tall, 19 right on the dot, wide, 12 deep, half inch, number 6, half inch, 19, 42. Our top is 2.5, and we have shelf holes, 3 of them, or 3 sets of them. Love that for us. Now we can move this sucker over yonder. I'm gonna move that pile, and I'm gonna set all these cabinets right here. Even with the dust collector, the CNC loves making dust. We gotta get the dust collector hooked up better for it, but we not just moved, but we sort of moved not that long ago. Everything just isn't, I mean, it's set up a lot better than it was, but it's not exactly there yet. Luckily for this job, at least, I'm able to set the cabinets on the top because they're going to the ceiling and you'll never see them, so I'm not worried about them getting scratched. Otherwise I'd lay cardboard down and take a bunch of precautionary measures, but and where the tops, I mean, not like the very top, not the front of the face frame, but the top of it. Okay, I'm done. Number 6 and come, I don't know exactly. I'm gonna lay it out in the orientation of the house. So that way when I go to measure for doors, everything is just set how we want it. All right, next, microwave shelf. So I made the dumb decision of, something fell over there, don't love that, of wrapping some of these when I shouldn't have, because we hadn't tested the shelves, and there's obviously a reason that we test the shelves. Hopefully this one fits. I might lose my cool. Yep, love it. Perfect. Good work. So number 5, perfect there. Number 5's right here. So it should be a 30. 30 right on the dot. 27 tall. 27 tall. Quarter and a quarter, because there's no skins. And then 12 deep. Pack out bottom. Top is 2.5. Love that. So now this guy right here is completed. Shelves are done. Cabinets done. I don't know what's going on over there. It's bugging me out. So 1, 2, then corner. Okay. Oh, with that pack out, it's a heavy boy. So, really, it starts over there, it's gonna come over here. So number 6 needs to come this way. Ooh, that way. So there's that one. Number 6. Okay. That'll work. Alrighty. This is what Jacob and I are doing now for a little while, testing shelves, double checking everything. Once that's completed, we'll see what time it is, and we're gonna start datoing out face frames for the lowers. Jacob and I are now working on the lowers, getting the face frames on. I just datoed this one out. 1/2 inch on this side because there's a side panel, so end at a quarter. 1/4 inch on this side because there's no side panel. Getting them all in there. How's this pantry cabinet going? It's only like 9 1/4 deep.
Coming together.
Makes it awkwardly tough. I don't know what we might have to do here. We may have to brad nail this. And that's, is it flush up top there? Well, it's a little bit off. It needs to come up. Yep. Hold on. Move whatever that is. Yeah, it definitely needs to come up, Jiggy. Unscrew it, and then move it up, I guess. I'm gonna get this next one going here. Number 13, stacked to the right of the dishwasher. Okay, it's a 4 stack. Try to get our helmet on here. If I remember correctly, this one's a bit odd because I'm looking for a tape measure. There's going to be a panel that goes next to it. So I wanted to make it flush. What number again is this? Number 13, right of the dish. Yep. Number 13, right of the dish. Quarter, I'll transfer that quarter over here, so it's a half. And then 0, because there is a side panel on that side. Go half left and 0 on right. Find our top here. 5 inches, love that. Okay, so 1/2 inch this way. I made these 1 1/4 wide instead of 1.5 inches because it's already a small cabinet. They wanted drawer boxes, a stack. I wanted to give them even an extra 1/2 inch of room for their drawer boxes. The drawer boxes are 5/8 of an inch thick, so by giving them an extra 1/2 inch, it almost deletes one side of the drawer box for the thickness, and it adds that back in and just makes a little bit more room for them. If they're going to spend the money on the drawer boxes, I want them to be able to have as much room as possible. Just like that. And then in theory, if I did that correctly, should go just like that. That way now the side panel can come. It's a big applied panel. They didn't Craig jig this. You guys are kidding me. Come on, guys. Well, that's fine. But now the panel can go right to here. We can screw it from the inside and it'll be perfect. And then the side panel, a normal side panel, a skin will go right here, but the applied panel that matches the doors can come right to there. So that guy works, that guy's perfect. Move on to the next one here. That's all we're doing here for quite a while. And once these are complete, I don't know if we'll complete them today, but if not, this is what I will be working on this weekend. A whole bunch of the lowers pretty much finished from the standpoint of putting the face frames on. Jacob's cutting 2 more pieces of toe kick because the CNC didn't cut them the greatest. And I'm over here putting on our face frames that are dadoed out and glued. And then I'm screwing them all in. Push that down a little bit. There we go. Love that. I'll come through here, do the same. Right through there. We'll get the tops all in. We'll go down and we'll button out the field here. And these are white oak kitchen remodels cabinets. Nice white oak. That's so smooth. Clear coated. Clear coated about 4 times. Stain underneath it. Sent through the oven. Everything's cured out properly all the way through. That's what the oven does. It doesn't just dry the surface, it penetrates with the heat all the way through, so it actually cures the product out. So it makes it as durable as possible. Which is nice for transport and install. And then longevity of the cabinets while they're in your home. Using this drill driver, it's nice because it gets into these crags really easily without having to use a super long bit. Turn this guy around here. Jacob's brad nailing on the toe kick. Those boards are the only boards, the toe kick and then the runners up top are the two boards that we nail on with glue as well, because the screws sometimes tend to pop the grain or the plies of the plywood. So I do not like to screw those in. The top runners are just there to square up the cabinet. No real structural support there. And then the toe kick backing is just there so we have a place to nail on the finished toe kick. But anything that is structural is dado, glued, screwed. Get this cabinet done. This goes into a blind corner, so the face frame is 4.5 inches wide. That way it can get the other cabinet with the drawer front out of there, so the drawer front doesn't hit a handle or doesn't hit another drawer front if it's pulled out. It's another one and another one there. Applied panel is going to go here, that's why it's perfectly flush. Same thing with this guy right here, perfectly flush for applied panels that match the doors. And this guy right here is our blind corner cabinet. Big boy. Big boy. 36 inches wide, the face frame, another 24-inch deep, and it's actually the sink that butts into it. So another 4.5 here, 4.5 here. So when you open this, the drawer front that sticks out with the handle, nothing hits it, nothing's in the way. Don't want anything to hit, don't want anything to bang. I'm gonna get that blind corner face frame on, and then see what else we got. I have to build out this entire blind corner area, and then there's another cabinet that sits here on this side of the peninsula, and I have to cut out the back, cut out the side of this, and then there's going to be pull outs for the client as well, so I'll have to deal with that tomorrow or Sunday probably. The side panels are now stained clear coated, sent through the oven. I'm going to put those on tomorrow, I think. And then we have most of the cabinets. There's a blind corner. What else? An upper pantry, a Lazy Susan, and an actual upper corner cabinet we have to make. So there's 4. But for the most part, these cabinets are ready to be measured. Once I put the skins on, we'll install the drawer boxes, measure for the doors. And then I think that's about it for these. We got to make sure they're all clean, dusted out. Built all of our 3/4 inch face frames. Got them all stained, clear coated, sent through the oven. All of the trim is sitting over there by the rack. Exact same material, white oak, custom made crown, screen molding, shoe molding, fillers, all of the trim we need for this whole project. Toe kick, everything is the white oak, same material as the face frame, same stain, same clear coat. Same clear coat and staining process. That way it matches perfectly to the face frames and the doors. And then CNC, cut out all of the cabinet shells. SHELLS, the shells. Put them all together with glue, screws, dadoed. And then we dadoed out the face frames. Glue, screw, all dadoed in together, just like that. So these are super sturdy. These are 1/2 inch material. That's what the customer wanted for the customer's budget. We also can do 3/4 inch thick if that's what you want for your budget. A lot of clients don't want to just spend the money on the 3/4, so they go with 1/2 inch. Perfectly fine. And then we also got all the skin side panels. Again, same material, white oak, 1/4 inch, grains vertical, matches the doors and everything. I need to put all of those on. Those cabinets are done, checked off, everything. We need to install the drawer boxes still and clean those out, make sure they're perfect. Tremendously thick shelves right here, 3/4 of an inch thick, won't bow, won't warp over time. Those are done and checked off the list. What I need to do here today, for the rest of the day, this is the blind corner, face frame will go here. Another cabinet butts into this cabinet right here, so that's the blind corner part. I need to pack that all out so material doesn't just fall through, or supplies or whatnot that the client has. I hate that, so we always pack it out. need to put that face frame on. And then over here, that's our upper corner cabinet face frame, my least favorite, but I need to get that on, as well as the Lazy Susan face frame. But I need to build the corner cabinet and then make the 3 shelves for that. And then Lazy Susan cabinet, need to build this. Try to get those face frames on. I don't know if we'll get to that today or not, but otherwise we'll be doing that Sunday. Ooh, one more thing I can show you. We also built drawer boxes, dovetailed. We build everything here in-house. So dovetailed drawer boxes, those can be ready. There's also 3 more drawer boxes. So blind corner is going to have a toe kick box where you walk up to it, hit it with your toe, pops out of the toe kick. And then there's 2 more drawer boxes that are going to be, I don't even know how to describe them. There's a cabinet going right along here as well that faces me. And it butts up to the back of this cabinet. And the client wanted pull-out boxes. Because this is the blind part of the cabinet, it's kind of useless because it happens to be a drawer stack. So I need to cut out a hole in the back of this cabinet, and then need to build pull-out boxes for that. There's a whole bunch of stuff I gotta do and figure out and build, so I'm gonna start doing that. Step number 1, I'm gonna put on our face frame. It's white oak, 3/4 of an inch thick. It's in the dado, and it's glued down. So now I'm just gonna screw it into position here. And then we'll start, oh my goodness, this thing's so big. We'll start building out the other side. Because this is our blind corner cabinet. Again, I don't want anything to fall out. If you go to a big box store, it's not gonna be covered up. It's just gonna be left open over there. But not here. I can't stand when it's just left open. I also can't stand when screws can't stay on bits either. There we go. Get all this screwed off here. And I'll get our top nice and screwed off. This cabinet is humongous. It'll also provide support and rigidity. Make sure everything's squared up by doing that. So that helps us, obviously. And then it also, by packing all of that out, helps us when we go to install it, because I'll pack the inside out and then I'll put another 3/4 inch piece that'll come flush with this face frame. So we're able to simply butt the other part of the blind corner right up here. It'll seat in perfectly. We don't have to do like any rigmarole when we go to install these cabinets. So it's definitely beneficial to the client. It's also beneficial to us. Some people call that a win-win. Okay, let's get this right here. These boards right here, some people think they provide support for the counter. They definitely do not. I mean, they might provide a little support, but that's not why they're there. They're there to help square the whole cabinet up. A lot of cabinets just have those little plastic pieces. They don't do as good of a job at squaring up the cabinet. That's why we don't like using them. There is one cabinet that we use them on, and that is the sink cabinet. Because then the countertop people don't have to cut anything out. So we didn't do that on this job though, because the cabinet is, or the sink cabinet is bigger than a typical sink cabinet. Typical sink cabinet's like 36 wide. This sink cabinet I think is like a 40. And I don't know, they would have been fine, I think, but I wanted them in because it's such a wide cabinet. I wanted to make sure the cabinet was square when we go to install it. In worst case, once the cabinet's installed, that sink cabinet, we can always take them out, or for the countertop company, or we do full kitchen remodels, so we know the countertop people. There are countertop people, essentially. It's not our business by any means. But the guys that do it, they understand. They get why we put them in on the really big sink cabinets. I know it's kind of stinks for them to have to cut them out, but they understand. They're family-owned business. They do amazing work, so they're fine with it. It's not just some random countertop company coming in for the first time or whatever. We do, I don't even know how many jobs. 50 jobs, 60 jobs with them a year. I don't even know. So they're used to it, but I would say probably 8 out of 10 times we use the little white plastic pieces just to help them out. If it's a 36-inch white cabinet, that's what we do. But sometimes that's just not the case. So we just have to figure something else out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure for my interior 3/4 inch piece. And what I'll do is I'll screw it in through the top, the side, and the bottom, and I'll connect it to the face frame from the back side. So that way that piece is in there. So then I have I have a piece or a piece on the back that I can put another 3/4 inch piece that'll plane out evenly with this face frame, and I can just simply nail that piece to it. You'll never see it. You'll always be hidden. Really, we technically don't need that second piece there. It just makes our life so much easier. So this next cabinet that butts up into it like this, it can just butt up into that 3/4 inch piece and line up with this face frame, and everything works out. And we can screw it from this side into that piece, and it's just really there for install. So the first piece is there for the client so nothing falls out. Second piece is there for us, just ease of install. Really, that's all it is. That's all it is. I'm gonna try to go 26. 26 by 28, and I'm gonna go 9. 28 and 9. 26 by 28 and 9. I know we have a piece over here just begging to be cut. Can I go 24? I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go back and look. I think I can go 24. On my phone and say you need. I'm gonna go 24 so I can get both pieces out of this. It really, quite honestly, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what it is, but I'm gonna do that. Could also just cut strips. I've done that before. Maybe that's what I'll do. No, I don't like that as much. I don't like that as much. Let's see. Let's see if there's enough meat to get in here. Go 24. Oh yeah, there is. And I can get a screw right in there. That's what I'm going to do, I think. Let me think about that. I don't love that actually though. Because when I go to attach this face frame, I really want to go like 25 is going to be too much. I'm going to go 26, and what I'll do is I'm going to cut just a strip on the outside, just for ease of install. The strips on the outside really mean nothing to us. They're just there for ease of install, and they can just be stripped, quite honestly. That would work out super well, so that's what I'm going to do. 24 by 28 and 9. So let's go 26. That'll be plenty. Perfect. And then I'm gonna go 28 and 9. 28 and 9/16. Okay. See what we got. And what I'll do is I'll temporarily tack it with some brads. Oh, Tyler, not correct. Let's go this way. I'll temporarily tack it in with some brad nails, if I can get this in. There we go. And then I'll come through and screw it. Screw it all in. Sometimes these can be an ultra pain in the butt to do, quite honestly, but it's worth it. That means it's nicer for our clients. So that's what I'm gonna do. The bottom's really nice. The top's just out a little bit. Gonna go like this a little bit. It's definitely gonna want to fight me. You already know that. There we go. It's not even a Tuesday. You guys know how I feel about Tuesdays. They're the true struggle bus day. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday. Okay. So there's how that piece will work. Let's see what I got. I got 1.25 in here. I already checked. Come through here. Love that. And we'll just work it on up. Make sure the reveal's looking pretty, which it is. Okay, now see what we can do here if we can't. Trying to square this whole cabinet up when it's 60 inches wide can be a struggle bus, but we'll get her. There we go. Love how that looks. What I might honestly do, I've done this before. If I just put 1,000,000 brad nails, it will be perfect. Really do. I'm gonna screw it to the face frame. Let's look inside of here. Make sure everything looks good. Yeah, it does. I'm gonna screw it right here into the face frame, but the brads will hold this plenty fine. As long as I put 1,000,000 and I have the depth set correctly, which I do. Oh yeah, those feel good. Now I need to do it to the bottom. Let's see if I can do it to the bottom here. This stuff makes these cabinets so heavy by adding just this bit of 3/4. There we go, baby. All feels really good inside. Nothing popped through. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put screws in here, boop, and attach to the face frame. Now what I'll do is I'll take our power planer. I'll get rid of this little extended piece. That's for our dado. We don't need it in this case, obviously. And then I shall put on, I'm just going to do a strip here and a strip here, and that's just for installation, so that'll work out well. Got my notch cut flat so I can put my strips. I need a measure for those, but disaster happened when I was just trying to move the cabinet, so it's always lovely. Lovely, lovely. So 30.5 tall for the strips by, really doesn't matter, quite honestly. It just don't matter, quite honestly. I love just to be able to use this, man. I hate wasting material. Might be what I do. Why don't I just do that? I just can't stand wasting material, you know. Trying to think about that a little bit. So 26. If we go like 4 wide, should be plenty. 4, 8, 12. Go a little bit wider, I'd say. And these are 26. I need to add up to 30.5. So we'll cut 2 pieces at 4.5, which then in theory should add up to what we need them to be. In theory, of course. Cap. Now let's see what we got. Let us see. Get my battery back on. And my multi-tool. 3/4 and 3/4. Each wheel is 1.5 inches. I'm using 1.25 inch brads. So, should be fine. That's perfectly flush down below. I always hate how you have to turn the brad nailer on. I mean, I get why you have to, but it's always a pain. And I already know I'm gonna need more brads, so to grab them before I'm trying to put on a new piece. That's always when you run out of brad nails, right when you need to definitely nail something. Let's grab them, load them up, shoot that thing on, then double check it all. Then I'll measure for the toe kick box. Okay. That's at least on there for right now. Kind of a not great cut, but it'll be fine. It really doesn't matter. It just hurts my ego more than anything. Thought they had me in a deep sleep. What do we got down here? That's fine. Let's go like that. Make sure we're lined up perfectly. Okay, let's see if I need to trim these down or not. Any? No, that lines up freaking perfectly. Okay. I do like that. And then I'll go back through and brad nail the whole field off really well. What do we got over here? A little bit tall. Just a little bit tall. I'm gonna shave this one down. Not much. Just a hair, like not even a 30-second. That was really nothing. We'll see about that now. See if we can't make this happen now. Yep, that was perfect. Okay. Okay. And essentially the next face frame will come right here. Right into that plywood. That's why I'm putting so many nails, because when we go to screw it off, I've not put that many nails before, and then you go to screw it and it kind of pops the plywood up a little bit. Then you got to put it back down, and you just got to mess with things. I don't want to mess with anything on the site if I don't have to. Love that for us. Alright, now, I gotta lift this thing down. This thing right here, it might kill me. I don't know. Oh my goodness, it's a big boy. It's a big boy, right there. Lines up nice. Little 1/4 inch stick out. Okay, let's try to find this client's sheet. Should be hanging up right over here. That way I can double check all the measurements and go from there. I also need this client's drawer box information, because I could have figured out the height of the toe kick, but I really wanted to wait until this cabinet was built, just so I couldn't be wrong. Well, you can still be wrong if you mismeasure, but at least I can see it and measure it with this guy right here. We've done the toe kick boxes one other time. They're really cool. They're a lot of money though, because the slides are a lot of money for them. So I always kind of tell clients, like, try to be real with clients. Honestly, I hate upselling. And sometimes with the toe kick boxes, well, not sometimes, but in this case, I made the toe kick a little taller than what we normally do. I normally hate doing that because your boxes get smaller here, but what I learned last time is, it was our first time, so you don't know, and they worked really great. Toe kick boxes are so small And I'm just upfront with clients. Hey, like, they're a lot of money and you don't get that much additional space. But if the client doesn't care and they want them, 100% we'll do them. I just want to be upfront with them. 24 inches deep. 24 inches deep. Perfect. 35 inches tall. 35 inches tall. 35, 24. So the total is 60. Yep. And I hung it 1/8 of an inch short on this side for a reason. It's such a big cabinet, I didn't want to be off on my measurements. So instead of 60, we are 59 7/8, which is fine, really. 59 7/8, which is perfect. 59 7/8, which is fine. This is the part right here that matters. 36. And that is 36. Tight to tight. 36, and that is 36. Okay, and the right is 4.5. 4.5. Okay. That guy's done. Quarter. 3 fronts, 3 boxes, no shelves because toe kick, and then I gotta figure out the pull-out boxes. But all right. Once I measure for this toe kick, this cabinet right here is fully complete. But that's how we do our blind corners. We have our outside parts. When this cabinet butts up into it, screw into it, and then we have this other inside part. So that way the client's stuff cannot fall out and get trapped between the two cabinets. Some crazy things going on. Not really crazy, but kind of crazy. I need to build out for our toe kick boxes. Since the toe kick slides, they don't come rear mounted like our normal drawer slides. They're side mount. So I need to build out a place for those drawer boxes. And I'm going to make them, one thing I do not want is for our toe kick box to kind of get into the blind corner area. So I could have made this drawer box wider, but I'm not, because I don't want it to get into a situation where things start hitting or being dumb and not working, and then it's just a mess, quite honestly. So I have a backboard cut here, and then I used a 2x6, which is 5.5, which equals my total height of my toe kick. And then I'm going to hopefully be able to nail this right through there. I'm gonna have to screw it. 1.5's not gonna go through this. Or the 1.25. It's 1 3/8 or 1 3/16. Even if I deep diver it, I don't know if it's gonna do what I want it to do. Oh, it did. No, it definitely did. Okay. Good work, Milwaukee. Okay. Oh, that's super solid. Good. So my drawer box is, my rough opening is 30, which 29 5/8 works. Which will actually be the same size drawer box here. The only difference is you don't have to take into account this 1.5 inches. So technically it's slid over 1.5 inches. It's not centered with the other drawer boxes. Won't matter. There's no handle going on here. It's a toe kick. And the way we did it last time, which worked super slick, the toe kick for that cabinet, there's going to be a little seam, just a little seam, that you can't ever see with this dark stain. And then we'll cut this toe kick and we'll either screw it from the inside or we'll brad nail it and putty it with color match putty. And then this toe kick will be independent of the other toe kicks on the side. But it's super nice way to do it. I was kind of researching how a lot of other people did it the first time, because I'm like, do we put a slab drawer front on it, or do you like, I don't know. I was worried that the toe kick, it's only 1/4 inch, is going to be too flimsy, and I was worried about a lot of things. But I came to figure out, a lot of people said, because a lot of people I think had the same assumption I did. They're like, oh, the 1/4 inch might be too flimsy. So they did the slab drawer front, and then it kind of looked terrible because 3/4 of an inch, and it kind of jogs back and up, because then the rest of your toe kick is 1/4, and it kind of looked dumb. So they ended up just doing 1/4 inch. That's what they recommended. So that's what I did, and client was super happy about it. It looked super good. It looked super, super good. It really wasn't flimsy because we glued it onto the drawer box, the front of it. And I think we brad nailed theirs. And it worked phenomenal, man. So that's what we're going to do again. Could also screw it, but it's only a 1/4 inch thick material. I don't love that. And as you know, brad nails hold like freaking phenomenal, especially with that glue on it. I didn't clear coat the front of the drawer box because I knew we were going to glue it. So, and then we have like 30 different putties over there on the racking, and with all the different colors, and you can find one that matches really well. And if you can't, you can mix 2 of them a little bit and get it really good. So that's what we do. Try to do our best to, if there's any reason we have to use a brad nailer, I want the stuff filled, like on the shoe or the toe kick. A lot of people don't fill it, and you don't really have to, quite honestly, with the stain, but I like doing it. I think it's, I don't know, I go back and forth, right? Because some people are like, oh, you know, the wood kind of fades out and then it doesn't match later. But what I do to try to fix that solution is I get the putty maybe 95% out of 100 to get a color match, which you can't tell otherwise. And then what I'll do is I'll dip the rag in a little bit of stain, and I'll go back over the putty with the stain, so that way it's stained to match as well. So the putty matches and the stain matches, and I think with those 2 things, it'll last a really long time, perfectly color matched, and everything will work out well. It's always my intention. Try to get everything to work out perfect for the client and for us, obviously, too, you know. Not that we always do, definitely not perfect, but try to make it as good as possible for the client that we can. I'm going to secure this back piece here with a lot of brads. And that thing is not going anywhere. I mean, that thing's in there. Put a few more just to make sure. But and then what we'll do is we will glue, or not glue, I'm sorry. There we go. Oh yeah, that thing locked in there, baby. When it's time for the toe kick slide, we'll just screw the slide here, screw the slide here, and then this little bit that'll be exposed will have an actual toe kick. This piece of toe kick will be independent from that piece and this piece. And they'll just be like a, 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch seam on each side. And it'll be connected to the box. Push the toe box in and out with your toe. Super nice. They're expensive. Not gonna lie, they're expensive. And in this client's case, she's going to get a 3-inch tall drawer box. Which, if I'm being honest, on a lot of existing cabinets, I see drawer boxes, the top drawer box being 3 inches tall to like 3.5 inches tall. So they're getting their money's worth, at least here. The last kitchen we did, I didn't think about it because we'd never done it before, and they got a 2.5 inch tall drawer box, and they loved it. They loved it so much. But I was always like, okay, the next time I do this, I'm gonna make our toe kick a little bit taller, just add an extra 1/2 inch. So, because essentially what I do, it's really just a 4.5 inch tall drawer box, or toe kick, sorry, excuse me. So the slide, you have to subtract 1 inch off. So that would give me a 3.5 inch tall drawer box, but. And I did this last time too, and it worked out super well. I took an extra 1/2 inch off because floors are never, ever, ever perfectly flat. We're not dealing with new construction. We're dealing with homes that have been there for 10, 15, 20, sometimes 80 years, right? And things move. Just how life is. So I leave an extra 1/2 inch so I'm able to put the drawer box up a 1/2 inch in case there's a little hump in the floor, and then there's no issues. If I made it tight, which last time I did not make it tight, I left that extra 1/2 inch, and I'm so grateful I did because their floor was tile, and their floor kind of humped up about 1/4 inch. So if I had made it super tight, I would have been in trouble, but I didn't. So last time though, I made the toe kick box 4 inches, so that I could have made the box 3 inches, but I subtract the extra 1/2 inch. So that was 2 inches, but this time it's a 3 inch. And our top boxes, I always make them 5-inch rough opening minus an inch for the slides. You get a 4-inch tall top drawer box. That way anything and everything can fit in there well. So in theory, this should be done. I mean, it's a big boy. It's not gonna lie. But blind corner's done. I'm gonna see what time it is. I'm gonna clean up that disaster. Then I think maybe the last things I might do today, once I clean up my area, I may put together this corner cabinet, which is my least favorite, and then I'll put together this Lazy Susan, which is my second least favorite. I don't know if I'll get to that or not, but I'm gonna start working on them. So that way tomorrow I can come through and I can put this guy on. I can figure out this, put this on, cut the 3 shelves for that cabinet, and then start installing the skin side panels. Once the side panels are installed, I'll measure or double check my measurements for all of the doors. There's one more cabinet I have to build. It was just messed up, so I may even try to attempt that. So it's finished corner, upper, finished Lazy Susan. Cut the 3 shelves for the corner, finish that. Get the skins on. Build cabinet number 17. Measure for doors. Install drawer boxes. What else? Clean all of the cabinets, wipe them because they get dusty, blow them out. And then what else? I think that's pretty much it, man. Then we have to build the doors, obviously, but so I don't think I'll get everything ready or completed this weekend. But I might. So hopefully for sure Monday I can get everything completed, so maybe everything can get installed Tuesday. The first thing that I'm doing today is fixing a mistake I made yesterday, which was Sunday, and that is I cut my angle too much and it made the face of the face frame too small in width. So cutting new boards, I'm going to put that face frame together, get it fully sanded, fully ready to go, and then we'll stain it, clear coat it really quickly while I'm building the Lazy Susan actual cabinet. And then we put the Lazy Susan face frame on, we put the corner cabinet face frame on. Then there's just one more cabinet that I have to build. Once that's completed, I will hopefully, what are these doing? Those are over there. Okay, I will hopefully be able to then measure for all the doors, get all the skin side panels on, and maybe even start installing the drawer boxes. Alrighty, I've been working on fixing this face frame that I miscut and essentially ruined yesterday, which is fine. Now I just have to fix my mistake. It's really all it is to it. And it's fine. Things happen, right? Never perfect. Never. I got my glue bottle. It's all filled with glue again. That's a face frame right over there. I think I could have maybe made it work. Maybe. It's close. But this isn't the worst thing to have to do because I'm testing a new way to build these corner face frames. I'm adding a little bit of width here. Or actually no, I'm taking away a little bit of width here. So that way the width gets added here. Instead of like 1 1/8 inch wide, they're going to hopefully end, I think, there we go, that's what we wanted. Hopefully to end at maybe 1 3/8 or maybe 1 1/2. So I'm testing it out right now, quite honestly. Kind of cracked out a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. His and hers, and actually, yeah, that'll be fine, just like that. It's actually how I want it. Okay. A little more glue here. Clamp that thing down nice and tight. There we go. We have our 1 1/4 inch fine threads. think I'm done using the coarse thread. They were out of coarse thread at Menards when we put the rest of these together. So I said, well, I'll use some 1 1/4 inch fine thread. And they worked well. So I'm gonna keep doing that, I think. I know for a hardwood you're supposed to use a fine thread anyway, but I just always liked how the coarse thread worked. So I am going to 1 inch where the end grain is though, so I don't want to blow that end grain out. But on the interior, Craig, I'm going 1 1/4 inches. Because I really want that joint to be just, or that seam to just be tight. I don't want, I mean, wood is natural. It's a natural material, so the seams can definitely move and, you know, crack out, and just kind of depends on how you keep your house and how the weather is, and depends on humidity and temperature. But if I can use a good amount of glue and a nice long screw, and it makes it last longer or better, I'm gonna try that. Alright, so let's see how this looked up here. That looked all fine and dandy. Alright, I'm gonna let that set for like 20 minutes, and then we'll get it sanded in the vertical belt sander from 13/16 thick to 3/4 of an inch thick. We'll cut it down on the saw stop and figure out exactly what it's going to be. Will that fit? No. Okay. Figure out exactly what it's going to be and just go from there. Face frame's now set up, and we're sanding a face frame down from 13/16 thick to 3/4 of an inch thick. That's how the rest of the cabinets are looking right there, coming out really nice. May I get this sanded down and then cut and get my 45-degree angle cut on it. So that way then I can build the Lazy Susan cabinet. And then I think I'll start measuring for doors and start putting on our custom white oak stained and clear coated side panels. I now have our face frame stained up. Face frame's white oak. The color of the stain is called Weathered Oak by Sherwin-Williams. I'm going to get this guy into the oven. Since the stain is pretty much dry, I want to make sure it's hardened and cured out. And then I can get some clear coat onto this guy. So let's take this into the oven here. Here's some existing doors for a resurface that we're doing this week, along with these brand new white oak custom cabinets. Just lean that up there, let it stay. Leave that in there for about 10 minutes and we'll get 3 coats of clear coat on it. And then once Brandon gets back to the table saw, I'll dado it out, get it onto that cabinet, get the shelves cut out. Carl is actually that one cabinet that was cut incorrectly. It was cut correctly, it just was programmed as a lower, need to be an upper. So he's gonna get that cut out along with the 3 shelves for that corner cabinet. So all of that can get done. The wind blew a bunch of stuff over. And then I'm gonna start putting together this Lazy Susan and maybe even bore some doors out. Coming in the oven, grab our face frame. Now that the stain is fully dried, fully cured out, we can start clear coating that right there 3 times. And then we'll dado out the back and put it on the arch nemesis right there, that corner cabinet. It's just staring at me. Got done using our Craig jig machine for 1/2 inch material. That's what these white oak custom cabinets for our white oak kitchen remodel are made out of. Again, we do make 3/4 inch cabinets. Just depends on your budget. This is for the Lazy Susan, and then Carl's cutting out the last cabinet. So make sure these are the same size. These are our back pieces here. They are the same size. Love that. That makes it easy. The only time it wouldn't be the same is if there was going to be a side panel. So now everything's cragged up. I need to get everything glued, screwed, and then I need to work on the top piece. You guys have seen how we do the top before, but I'll have to cut a bunch of material for that, and then hopefully I can put together that last cabinet once this big guy is done. Let's start putting this Lazy Susan unit together. If I can find the correct pieces. Boom. Let's get our impact. Milwaukee. Screws. Glue. Let's get it all glued up. A nice bead of glue right there. Yep. There we go. And I call it a Lazy Susan, but really, this is a Super Susan. Because it's much bigger than the typical Lazy Susans you buy from the big box store. We take up the full width and we build it all the way to the wall. So that way you can get a bigger Lazy Susan unit inside of the Super Susan. You don't have to get like, sometimes you have to get a 21. From the big box store you can get like a 21-inch Lazy Susan or a 24-inch. In ours you can get at least a 28 or a 30. I think a 30 or 31. I forget exactly which size it is. But you can get a much bigger Lazy Susan unit inside of our Super Susans. They're just a much bigger pain in the butt to bring in the house for us. They're so big and they barely fit through the door. Can't put them through the garage doors because, or the doors that go into the garages, because they're like 30 or 33-inch doors and you have to go through a 36-inch. So typically, the front door is the only door that you can get these in. And they barely go in. But they do go through. Nice and easy. Just have to go slow and take your time. These are not that much fun to put together either. They're just big. And I'm not sure why. The mosaic programming that we use for our CNC doesn't ever build any top braces or supports for these Lazy Susans. I really don't know why. We've looked into it, tried to figure it out, and they just don't. So we just have to build our own, which is fine. It just takes some time to do. Get that glue up in there. Glue, glue, glue. And we'll get this guy, big boy. It really needs to go like this. Because I already have some crags in the bottom. I may have to add more crags with the handheld crag jig. But that's okay. Let's get it screwed in here. Make sure we're all the way over, first and foremost, right? There we go. Feels like we are. Where's our screw hole? Right there. There. Now we're all the way over. And we can get this side screwed in. Yep, that looks correct to me. For some reason this back piece is gonna fight. It's gonna fight. It's a Tuesday. You already know what it is. There. That should do something for us. It's not Tuesday, is it? Holy smoke, it's Monday. That's crazy. I don't know what's worse, it being Monday or me thinking that it's Tuesday and it's Monday. There we go. Okay. Now the fun part begins. So I need to transfer this cord, man. I thought this was gonna be such a good idea running this cord. I think I hate it. I just think that I absolutely can't stand it. I mean, it is what it is, but starting to think that I just hate it. Oh yeah, big boy. So I need to get this up here. Doing this by yourself it kind of sucks, being honest, because this thing's so heavy, man. Until you get one screw in there, it's like you're just fighting for your life. You gotta make sure it's all the way over. At the same time, all the way down. And then I gotta put a screw in straight. Okay. What I'm gonna do. Okay, hopefully that's all the way down. It feels like it to me. Alright, you get a screw right here. How's that feel comparatively? That looks correct. Thank you, Jesus, for real. There we go. Next screw. Okay. That doesn't look correct though to me. Something ain't right. I tell you what, something ain't right. Let's see if we can't get it correct. Really need it to come this way. There it is, right there. Let's get another screw in here. That's correct now. Where's another screw hole, brother? There we go. Okay. Now we're cooking. Yep, feels great. Okay, now let's lift this down without, I don't know, doing something terrible to us or the cabinet. Oh yeah. Just like that. There's a Lazy Susan cabinet. That feels all correct. Everything looks correct. How's our reveals back here? Love that. So now I'm going to cut out, I don't even know where the piece is. I'll find that next. I think it was over here, yep. Need to cut out a 45 on the sides of this so it can connect back here. And then I'll start cutting out all the braces for the top. Just like that. Lazy Susan cabinet is complete. These are the braces we put up top. Again, the CNC doesn't cut those, but got that done. It's all squared up. It's ready to go. The CNC got the other cabinet cut. So we can start putting that together. Get that face frame on. Brandon will be back soon. We'll get the corner cabinet done because this face frame is ready to go now. And then we'll cut out those corner cabinets. And then I can start measuring for doors. That's how it came out. 3 coats of clear coat. Super smooth. We'll get that on here momentarily once I'm done building this last cabinet. Just got my bottom panel all contacted up. And there it goes right there. This cabinet should now be finished. And I did get the other cabinet that the CNC cut finished as well. It's part of another cabinet, really. It's a cabinet that goes on top of another cabinet because it's floor to ceiling. So I had to pack out the bottom, 1.5 inches, so that way we're able to screw up into it. You'll never see those screws, but that way we can connect everything, making sure this is all nice and pushed out, no bubbles, no nothing dumb, no nothing crazy, no nothing weird. That's how it turned out right there. Nice corner cabinet. I'm gonna take it over there. I'm gonna clean up my workstation. Brandon's cutting out the shelves. We'll double check those. And then I think I'm gonna measure for some doors. Finally have every single cabinet completed. Now I can start measuring for all of the custom shaker 45. Yes. Doors, shaker 45 drawer fronts made out of white oak. We might even start trying to make those today. We need to measure for doors. And then a bunch of the cabinets need packed out because they're going back to back. So I need to pack that out. And then after that's done, we have to, client wants, this cabinet's going to the back of that cabinet. And it's different height right now because these cabinets will sit on the flooring. Those cabinets are sitting into the flooring because they didn't have cabinets here before. So that's why the height's different. But they want a pull-out box. Since this is a blind corner, there's drawer boxes right there like they have before or right now. But this is going to be wasted. So they want a pull-out box. From this side, you open the door, pull it out 30 inches deep. So we need to cut some holes in there, trim it out, make it look perfect. So measure doors, pack out, do whatever this is. Install drawer boxes, and then put the skins on. And they're sitting all over there. Put the side panels on. And once that's done, really, the cabinets can get installed. Yeah, the cabinets can definitely get installed. Then we just need to make the doors, stain the doors, clear cut the doors, which that never takes that long. So it's kind of the game plan. I'm going to get the doors measured, and then we'll start working on pack outs. That weird situation, installing drawer boxes and putting on side panels. We have almost all of our side panels done. Everything's cleaned out. Everything's looking really good. Side panels are on. I think there's one there and two more on that cabinet. And then we can start installing drawer boxes. This resurfacing job is done. Jacob's over there spraying or taping, priming, spraying it right now, so he'll put doors on there tomorrow. Let me show you this. That hole right there, set this right here, is for this blind corner because the cabinets butt up to each other, and there's going to be a 30-inch long pull-out box so that way the blind corner space is not wasted with the drawer stack in there. That's what the client wanted. They wanted us to figure out a way to make it happen, so Brandon made it happen. It's feeling nice and tacky. All right, attempt to put this on. Single-handed is terrible, but there will be a piece of screen molding that goes on here. Oh, my shirt's caught. There we go. Love that. So that'll go on there, nice and flush. Then we'll get this cabinet all blown out, wiped out. Then I think really the last main thing is to install the drawer boxes. Perfect. So I guess we'll start installing drawer boxes. At the stage, we're putting in our orange clips. And this notch that I'm always talking about with the hole that we drill, it allows the slide to slide through and clip into our clips. Side adjust left to right, up and down, in and out adjustments. This is how they're turning out right now. We have our pull-outs, right, our drawer boxes right there. Another drawer box, full extension, can hold 100 pounds, 5/8" maple, clear coated 3 times, soft close, along with our pull-out drawer boxes that are inside of doors. Brandon's installing the last couple slides. Now I got to get those orange clips in to these drawer boxes right here so we can put them in. Everything's dovetailed. All of the cabinets for this white oak kitchen remodel are now ready to go. There's only 2 things left we have to build. Toe kick box and a super funky pull-out that goes between 2 cabinets. It's going to be 30 inches long. So we got all the drawer boxes in. Again, they pull out all the way, full extension, 5/8" maple, dovetailed, soft close, clear coated 3 times, sent through the oven, can hold up to 100 pounds. Today we are making the Shaker 45 doors and drawer fronts for that white oak kitchen remodel. Obviously we're making it all out of white oak. Plan is to get them all completely put together today so we can go install those cabinets tomorrow. Then tomorrow the doors will be getting stained and clear coated, and hopefully we can put those doors on either Thursday or Friday. So when you start making doors. I have the super big long pull-out drawer box done, 8 inches, 30-inch tall, 30 inches long, like 26 wide. And then I have our toe kick box. So just letting the glue and the putty dry, sand them, and then we'll get those clear coated. All of the slides are coming in later here. So what I'm going to start doing is coping while Carl's sticking and Brandon's cutting panels. I was able to get about 75% of the pieces coped, and one piece down bad. I didn't like the knot in that piece, and then this piece just needs a partner. So hopefully when Brandon's done cutting out panels, he'll be able to finish those, or worst case, I will. I'm just gonna sand these two drawer boxes really quickly because I want to get clear coat on them as soon as possible, because typically the slides arrive around 10 a.m., which is in like an hour-ish. And when they get here, I really just want to put them in and just be done with them. I won't be able to put the big box in, but I want to put the toe kick box in and just be done with it. So I'm gonna get these sanded, and then I'll move back to the door. Drawer box number 1 is ready for clear coat. Drawer box number 2, ready for clear coat. I'm gonna get these over there to the spray booth so they can start clear coating, and then I'm going to start making doors with the guys. Brandon has almost all of the doors and drawer fronts put together. So now what I'm gonna do is, Jacob's also almost back. He just put on those existing doors for a kitchen resurface that we did. He taped, primed, and sprayed there yesterday. A color called Oak Brand. It's a client we've done before. And then he installed all the doors today. So now what I'm going to attempt to do is put in this Lazy Susan unit, mount this toe kick drawer box, and then Brandon will probably go to lunch. Jacob will come back, get his van done. When Brandon comes back, me and him will probably start sanding the doors down from 13/16 thick, 3/4 of an inch thick, so we can cut them down, router them, double check the measurements, sand them, bore them, and then they can be getting stained and clear coated tomorrow while we're installing. I have my toe kick slides put together. There's 3 pieces: the main slide part, this part, and then there's a bracket right here. It's not that hard. The instructions are pretty nice, but essentially you'll click it in to release it, it'll pop out, and then you'll put it back in. I have these mounted right now where I think I put them an inch up because the cabinet's going to sink into the floor 1/2 inch, and I want an extra 1/2 inch in case the floor is up and down, which it typically is. Now I'm going to shove the box in, and then I'm going to kind of adjust and play with it and see how far forward or how far back. The instructions are over there and they kind of tell you, but I did this last time and I just played with it and it worked out. So that's what I'm going to do this time. So I'm going to go mount the clips in the box that's over there, and then I'll put the box in and see how it fits. All right, so toe kick box is operational. It is full extension, dovetailed, clear coat, maple, soft close, and again it's spring activated, the stabilizer, and it comes out just like that. That's a toe kick box. You'll get a piece of toe kick right on the front. We'll nail it in. That's how it'll look right there. I left it high enough, again, because the cabinets are going to sink into the floor a little bit. It's the same mechanics as our other drawer box, just with a little bit different slide. Same brand Bloom. You just press to open it, and then the drawer box will open, and you'll just soft close it back into place. Those slides technically work for these drawer boxes. They just are much more expensive, so we don't really do them, but a lot of them you can press, the drawer would pop open for you, and that would work. So Jacob and Carl are sanding down doors. I'm going to work on this Lazy Susan and keep going. Normally, the Lazy Susans, inside of the Super Susans we have, it's a nice big 30-inch Susan, are the worst things to install. But I think, since that toe kick box right in there was so difficult, the Lazy Susan did not put up a fight. The only reason Lazy Susan is hard, 1, you have to get it in there and it's really tight, but 2, you have to pull them in this direction and this direction at the same time. Sometimes it likes to put up a fight, and then you have to try to get a screw up in there, and it's hard. So, but nestles right into place. It's even here, and it's done. Carl's over there feeding in the doors. We're on our final pass here, getting these doors down from 13/16 thick to 3/4 of an inch thick. Brandon's gonna go organize the doors, and then he's gonna start cutting them down so we're able to router them, double check them, and then bore these white oak doors for our white oak cabinet. Brandon has most of these white oak doors cut down to exact size, and now I'm gonna start rounding these doors over with our router. It's just a slight round over. That way, in this case, the stain or the clear coat has almost a flat spot. Not exactly flat because it's rounded, but a better spot to sit so nothing chips off. It's a sharp point like it is right here. I think it looks a tad unfinished. And really the paint or the clear coat and stain has nowhere to kind of sit. It has more of a chipping potential, so we don't want that. This isn't decorative by any means, but I do think it helps finish the door. So I have 32 doors to router. Once that's done, we're gonna double check everything, clean all the doors up with the foam sander, and then go to our Bloom mini press and start boring all of these doors. Hopefully we can get all of that done today. Jacob's routering out the last door, and now we're gonna start sanding these doors with some 150 grit. We don't wanna use 220 because it's gonna mat the fibers down too much. It won't take the stain as evenly. So we're gonna sand these. We already double checked them. The last thing to do is to bore these doors. Jacob and Brandon just have 2 more doors left to sand. I'm gonna start boring so then they can start unscrewing. Okay, that's set up correctly. I'm gonna use our Bloom mini press to bore the holes and press in the hinges. So 13 and 15 are no bores. 13 and 15, okay. Bottom up, so 29 and 30, okay. And 12 and 14. Why 12 and 14? Because they're pull-outs and then Lazy Susan. So, I'm looking 16 and 5 by 30. So that can be, okay, so up 9 inches, 29 and 30. So 9 inches up. I'm gonna mark it like that. I'm gonna push all the way to the back, line it up with my 0. That's actually not correct, Tyler. Okay, so really, I changed something. I made the box a lot taller. So, 1.5 inches to there, plus 9, so 10.5. Can I go 12? I think I can go 12. I know I can go 12. These are tall doors. We're gonna go 12 on these. Thank you, Jesus, for having me think about that. Worst case, we could have face hinged, but the reason why I'm pulling the bore hole up is because I don't like to waste space. I don't like to put the boards on the sides to mount our drawer boxes because you lose like 2 inches of drawer space. So I just like to move the bore hole out of the way. The only time we put the boards, that's 12, is when a client wants the boxes to be adjustable. Then I will move, or then we'll add the boards for sure. So this is a 16 and 3, so that's nothing. That's all normal. Then we'll add the boards when they want them to be adjustable, and then you can clip them into the boards, and the client can easily unclip and clip. It's a really slick system. Forget who makes it. But we get them from our distributor, you cut them to size, and you just go from there. It's super easy, but typically the clients don't want them adjusted. They would rather have a bigger box. So, yeah, that's just what we do. That way the client can maximize their space and maximize their dollar. There we go. Press in, bore. Simple process, bore it in. Press the hinge in, and then we'll unscrew these, bag them back up, and be done with it. Let's see if I can get another 16 and 5. I think this is it. So, 16 and 5. So that'll be my other. That can be my 29. So, 12 this way. This will be the right hand side. Hinging. Line it up. I could just adjust the bracket, but it takes way more time to adjust those, the positive stops, than it does to just line it up. To mark it, measure it, line it up. So, and technically there's wiggle room. Like if I had to be exact, like to the 16th, I would do the stops. But right now I am dead at, I'm at 12 dead, and we're perfect. So, cross those off. And that's essentially how they'll go, just like that. So that double checks what I need to know, and that's it. Now I just need to do that to the rest of the doors, and take a little bit of time, and that'll pretty much end the day. All of the white oak Shaker 45 doors and drawer fronts are now completed. Fully bored, double checked, sanded down, done.
Hey, this is Carl from Cabinet RX, and I'm here in Waukee, where we just finished, we finished the cabinets last week. Countertops just went in today. We ended up going with the client ended up going with a workstation sink. So here's the pieces to it right here. The faucet and the plumber will be here to get that hooked up and get the sink all hooked up and the plumbing. The backsplash will be over here. There's several different samples that she's looking at. And then that will go in next once she makes that decision. So if you need custom cabinets done, call Cabinet RX today at 515-250-6092.